With Andreas Umland, who joins us live from Kyiv. He's an analyst from the Stockholm Centre for Eastern European Studies. Thank you so much for being with us on the program. So any arrangement with NATO in terms of security guarantees is considered a red line for Moscow, as we know. And the EU seems quite divided, as I mentioned, on what route to take to ensure Ukraine's safety. What do you think we're going to see moving forward in terms of diplomacy and providing those security guarantees for Ukraine?
I see this with skepticism because what we have now is an unclarity of what these security guarantees actually imply. The major change from the current policy of just supporting Ukraine with arms, with investment financially, with training economically, and so on, would be Western troops on Ukrainian soil. But this is far away from my point of view. It would only come after a ceasefire, a stable ceasefire. Russia does not want that. It does not want to have Western troops on Ukrainian soil. So there will be probably no stable ceasefire unless Russia is really forced to agree to such a stable ceasefire. So currently, this is all, for me, rather theoretical. I think it's a decision then about sending actually troops to Ukraine to be made further down the road. But now there are different decisions to be made about the support for Ukraine and sanctions against Russia.
Right. I mean, you mentioned a ceasefire not being in place as these talks unfold, and Trump somewhat tried to justify why Russia did not want to go for a ceasefire and to come out with an outright deal with Ukraine. How is this threatening this process, though?
As I mentioned, the problem is that Russia does not want to have foreign troops on Ukrainian soil, only its own troops on Ukrainian soil. And the Western countries that have agreed to, in principle, to send troops will only send their troops when there is a ceasefire. So, but there will be a stable ceasefire. So Putin may agree to a temporary ceasefire, to a partial ceasefire, but he will not agree exactly because he does not want these troops on Ukrainian soil. So currently, I think this is all a dead end. I don't think these negotiations will lead to a solution.
Okay, analyst from the Stockholm Centre for Eastern European Studies, Andreas Umland. Thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour.